Gavin Newsom. We've talked a lot about his skills, his political skills, and he's been quite successful in getting himself to the top of the heap when it comes to possible presidential contenders for 2028 on the Democratic side. But he had a bit of a stumble this week when he was talking to, I believe, a podcaster. And I want to show a clip of what he said if we have that. That's a clip of Gavin Newsom.
I'm not trying to impress you. I'm just trying to impress upon you. I'm like you. I'm no better than you. You know, I'm a 960 SAT guy. You've never seen me read a speech because I cannot read a speech.
Some people, I don't think he meant to be demeaning, certainly to African Americans or to anybody, but it didn't come off quite right. And I think some people, jumped on him and said, "Look, you're basically saying, yeah, I'm dumb, like you're dumb like me. We're both dumb," which was unfortunate. So self-deprecation goes a long way in politics. It can go a long way, but you also got to have the fingertips to do it. What does this little gafflet tell us about his political skills? Because you're on the big stage now. This is, if you're the front runner, and running for the president of the United States, man, this stuff matters.
Yeah, it does. The Republicans want. There's a little Mamdaniism here. The Republicans are trying out how they're going to take. Gavin Newsom is so. That same Emerson poll that put Donald Trump Jr. ahead of Marco Rubio on the Republican side, on the Democratic side, has Newsom 4 points ahead of Pete Buttigieg, who is 3 points ahead of Kamala Harris, who is 4 points ahead of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who is 2 points ahead of Josh Shapiro. And Republicans want to figure out what's the Gavin Newsom kryptonite. Like, what's the way that you do it? But I don't think it's one thing. I do not think that the Republican attacks on Newsom for allegedly being racist to Black people because he was in a predominantly Black audience answering a question and he was talking about his dyslexia. I don't think that hurts him in the primary, particularly because I haven't heard anything from any Democrats or any Black Democrats or anybody saying anything about that on the Democratic side. But this is how the Republicans will keep workshopping their general election attacks on Gavin Newsom. Like, how do you build your general election? Which arrows can you put in your quiver for the general election? And I think for Gavin Newsom, a child of privilege from a wealthy California, politically powerful and wealthy California family, the guy who went to the French Laundry during the COVID lockdowns, and the guy who is patronizing to other that I'm just like you. That's a pretty good one, right? Yeah. He's not John Kerry because he's a pretty skilled politician. But there's some of that, right? Thirsty, ambitious.
Yeah, and there was a picture that's I've seen a lot. I hadn't never seen it before, but in the last week I've seen it like 7 or 8 times. It looked like it was from his college yearbook. I don't know, or maybe it was his high school yearbook, where he's very prepped out and he's got the hair slicked back and he's sort of obviously posing as he reads a magazine or something, and it just screams, Vineyard Vines, prepster or whatever. Mm-hmm. And you could see Republicans workshopping that too.
Yeah, and so that's as they build out their argument about him. And look, if it is J.D. Vance versus Gavin Newsom, which would be it's a low degree of expectation, but it would be the most expected outcome. The Democrats have their J.D. Vance material, right? They know where to go on J.D. Vance.
Yeah.
And
Republicans are still building their dossier
on Gavin Newsom. And rather than attacking him principally as a California progressive, I think attacking him as the Bush people attack John Kerry as a flip-floppy, unserious kind of a wannabe, that probably has pretty good resonance. And so Gavin Newsom will have to, as you say, on the big stage, he will have to be extraordinarily cognizant of reinforcing those narratives. And it's a tough sell for him, because he can't go like roll up his shirt sleeves and be with the people without appearing to be pandering. And that's probably the lesson he and his campaign should take away from that experience.
Yep. Folks, that's all the time we have for today. Again, I'm Bill Salmon, joined by my old pal, Chris Steyerwalt. We will see you next time on another exciting edition of Whole Hog Politics.
Suey.